So do you think, in your opinion, you could be a little biased, for your work, but are coding boot camps like still worth it in 2021? Is that, you think,
I
has
think
has
they're
the ship sailed?
absolutely.
That's the question.
Yeah, no, I think they're absolutely worth it. I'll be honest, when I first started working in boot camps, there was definitely this idea from employers, like they were hesitant to interview coding grads, and you really had to like sell them and like talk about why these programs are worthwhile and generate great
Hmm.
developers. And I think as boot camps have been around and more people go through them and get jobs, employers are really open to boot camp grads. In fact, I talk to employers a lot of times who prefer to hire boot camp grads over people out of like with CS degrees, because boot camp grads tend to have more tenacity. They tend to think outside the box. They tend to be a little more creative. So a lot
Interesting.
of companies actually want people like that. As to right now, there's such a big conversation around diversity and like bringing people from different walks of life into the team.
Right.
And boot camp grads tend to be those people who have really unique backgrounds in music or arts or whatever else, and now want to be a programmer. So companies really value that. So anyway, that's all to say that yes, they're so still worth it, especially if you're someone who already has a degree and has been working in a field for a while and want to transition. I think it's an excellent route to go.
Right. Would you say that like they would transition? So if I had a degree in finance and I wanted to jump into tech, I could take a coding boot camp. And then would you say that the reason you said transition would be like because I can get a job in finance as a developer, like easier because I understand the industry? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. In fact, that's one of the biggest things I do when I coach. If I'm working with someone who already has a really strong background in education, finance is a big one, education is another big one. I do normally coach them to say, okay, let's combine your education background with your tech
Right.
background and find that. But also other people, I'll never forget one of the most amazing like sort of career transitions I've seen was I worked with a grad that was a UPS delivery guy, and he'd never
Okay.
coded. He got some random family inheritance and decided to put it towards this coding boot camp. And then the first job he got was the one he interviewed for. First interview he got the job. It was a remote role. So
So
yeah, it was
cool.
like, yeah. And it was one of those things where he was an example like you of someone who really put in the work and
Hmm.
he got a reward.